Hi, I'm Brad Hutchings, and I'd like to talk to you about memorization. I'm going to show you how my completion tool can be used to detect memorization of training data in an LLM. I'm going to demonstrate a case where we can verify memorization of a work in an LLM by producing an exact copy. I'm also going to show you several cases where we can't verify a copy. While that does not mean a copy doesn't exist, you should see, by contrast, why it's unlikely a copy will ever be found. The completion tool I'm about to show you is developed by me with features that work well for this task. It is available at no cost with no registration required from my website, bradhutchings.com. I'm interested in the tech community having an open and honest discussion about memorization, not one clouded in accusation and innuendo. This is IBM Granite 8B Instruct running in a virtual machine on my laptop with my completion tool user interface. In the left window, I'll use a bookmark to load Genesis 1:1 to 1:15, which I copied from the King James Bible from the Gutenberg project. In the right window, I'll use a bookmark to load Genesis 1:1 to 1:3, then have the LLM complete 500 tokens without introducing any randomness. It does a remarkably good job. We have evidence that Granite has memorized the book of Genesis, chapter and verse, as the kids say. Let's try a different book of the King James Bible, Philemon from the New Testament. In the left window, I'll use a bookmark to load Philemon 1:7 to 1:23. In the right window, I'll use a bookmark to load Philemon 1:7 to 1:10, then have the LLM complete 500 tokens. We get another exact copy. We now have evidence to support hypothesis that Granite has memorized the entire King James Bible. Let's repeat the Philemon queue with Apple's OpenELM 3B, a smaller model, and Google Gemini 9B Instruct, a comparably sized model from Google. OpenELM 3B goes off the rails quickly. Gemini 9B strays from the words and eventually veers into Bible discussion. Note that if you complete the queue repeatedly with the same LLM, you will get the same completion, as the temperature is set to 0. At this point, we've shown that it's possible for an LLM, even a small one that can run on a laptop, to regurgitate memorized training data. We've also shown that either these LLMs aren't trained on some data or don't have an ability to regurgitate it. Computer scientists who have studied the foundations of the field are not surprised by this in the least. Petabytes of text training data distilled to mere gigabytes of weights in a model indicates super lossy compression. While a general idea of a work may be represented in the model, the original expression is not. This will be true for most works. My intuition from being knowledgeable about how LLM training works tells me that the King James Bible weighed quite heavily in IBM's training set, and not so heavily in Apple's or Google's for those respective models. Let's consider another literature classic, Huckleberry Finn. It is also in the public domain and available from Project Gutenberg. This is IBM Granite 8B Instruct again. In the left window, I'll use a bookmark to load the first 3 paragraphs from the first chapter of Huckleberry Finn. In the right window, I'll use a bookmark to load the first 2 paragraphs, then have the LLM complete 500 tokens. If Granite has memorized Huckleberry Finn, we can expect it to generate that 3rd paragraph. Nope. The discussion of whether LLMs memorize particular copyright-encumbered content is not just an interesting academic exercise. It has legal ramifications, such as whether training an LLM violates existing copyright protections. It has ethical ramifications, such as whether training without sanction from creators constitutes copyright infringement, or more general theft of their works. It should be important that factual claims about infringement be publicly verifiable, even by non-experts. There are plenty of people making such claims of memorization without providing much more than screenshots of alleged violations. If you're an attorney who plays in this space on either side, and you're not afraid of the facts, I would invite you to sponsor my work on LLM memorization. Your sponsorship would be a lot less expensive than taking a bad assertion to court. Additionally, you could help clear up misconceptions on this issue that will certainly become expensive legal disputes for your clients. Drop me an email at brad@bradhutchings.com or message me on LinkedIn. Thank you, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, fruitful college football playoff, however you celebrate. Let's make 2025 the year we demystify and de-weaponize memorization.